As you can see, this whole setup, just the trouble I had to go through to get this off. So anyway, I changed the key switch anyway, so it didn't matter if it didn't matter for this. But the thing is, what I will do though, I'm gonna clean that up and repair it, like from that bit of damage I did. I'm gonna smoothen up the pieces here, clean it up like I said, seal that, clean it up, make it look new again, and keep it for a spare part, just to make sure in case I need it, I'll have it. But this is the brand new key switch here. I just have it wired up when I was checking the lights and switches and stuff. So I'm gonna finish. As you can see, what I had to do with this. Yeah, so I did mention earlier that I was a bit on the tired side, but I don't know, energy came and I was able to finish that. Notice how this right here is a bit rusty. That's probably why this was tacky or has a tacky spray on it. Small things. I'm gonna just go take off the fuel tank and run properly. Disengage this. This is already disengaged. Could run this one through. I don't have the right bolts. These are the threads, but the bolt need to be way much shorter. And with this new piece, new unit, the bolt head can have a flare top. So this can hold it for now. And then I'll have to end up. When I go get I'll have to go buy a new screw for it. Simple. So as you can see, it's a bit later in the evening. Man, that I was at this for all day. Fun though. What I gotta do next, might as well finish off the list, which is the piece for the light fixture. Let me give you an idea of how that's set up. What you doing? It's over here. It's over here. So the idea, obviously I'm using this nice delicious piece of box to do the markup. Anyway, the idea is this. I can do a simple markup for it, or use it for it where I test high scrap it, but I'm not gonna go that way because I need it to be secured. Because when I fix this on for the first time, it's the idea is for that to be the setup for it. Meaning that I'll only have to take it off to spray it and that's it. But essentially it's like this, or on the side you can see good, like this, curved in like this. It would have a lot of holes inside of it. Some of the holes would be used to bolt in the light fixtures, the two light pieces, and the signal sets will be bolted on the edge of this. The signals that come with this bike factory front fairing is clear and is strewed out. So because it's clear and strewed out, I can see it from, at least utilize it where I can be seen from front and side. So it will work perfectly for the setup. Those ones would be more or less temporary for this bike, but I still can, I'll still be debating as I go on as to how the double Zeta version for this will be. This piece of flap will be used for the LED lighting. So the LED, flat LED will be on the side here, two of them, and then the lights that I'm using has green rings, so it will match up with the side LED, the flap LED, and yeah, 6.5 by 6.5 would be fine with I'll follow the 6 1/4. Those were quite specific, but for what I was doing. But what I may end up doing anyway is still going 6 1/2 on both ends, just to make sure. And then from there, I will decide I can easily shave down the pieces. So now onto the heat gun on the drill. It should be alright. Well, that didn't work. I totally forgot. I honestly forgot that this is way more thicker than the one I used before. So I broke it. Yeah. So on to plan 2 with that fixture. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm curving the edge of these. These will be the 2 main plates. These will be the secondary, so I'll have to cut this also. And go from there, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. So now it's getting a bit late. It's getting not late, but it's getting dark. So the pieces I just did, those are the blue tapes would be the part for the light fixture, which is the last thing on my list for the day. But thing is, I may or may not drill the holes in that tonight, just so I don't have to touch it again other than spray it. But other than that, I am going to do the fitting for it, where the light fixtures and DRLs would work together with that. So what I'm going to do right now is wipe down the bike. I didn't do that yet. After I wipe it down, the tires and all of that, then I'm going to go drag this fat beast inside. That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. And I got to pick up, so I'm going to pick up all these tools and drag the beast inside. So yeah, headlight fixture, the many pieces that I did, as you would see, is for the headlight fixture. That's this 3-piece, 3-piece, 2-piece, 2-piece. Now these are the fixtures that are going around these headlights. And my DRLs. Green ring, green ring, green DR, green DR. Which is the theme, obviously. Just because. Other than that, pieces I would need. Wrenches tool set. These screws, temporary fix, of course. And this the drill. Let's get ready. So got those finished. Holes. Didn't cut any holes in these anymore because I don't need it to, because these would be completely covered by the DRLs. So just gotta untape these, because these are done for what I needed them to stay together for, just to save me time with holding them to pieces. Yeah. So anyway, so essentially, so what I am going to do, utilize the holes for fixture purposes. anyway, use the holes for fixture purposes, and which you still gotta get a lot of shavings and stuff off, but that's small things that will come in the prepping for paint. So I'm not really hurting my head with that right now. I just needed to know where my measurements, where my setup stands with this, and I'll be good. So yeah, this is an idea setup as to how I want. Obviously something would be between here to hold the back end of the bottom piece of the outer flap. But let me put this DRL in so you can see of a really good idea. So this is essentially the look I'm going for with the bike. So I just gotta put the next part together. I'll do the record that one because I did a lot of, let's see if I can see it, a lot of measurements, hole cutting, marking, and all of that to get the measurements to set this up. So now I see what works perfectly. I wouldn't have mind putting this DRL a bit more further back, but I want it not to only be shown when it's in front, because I do it at an angle, you wouldn't be able to see it at all, even though it would look pretty and nice lighting up the whole edges of the fixture and to the holes. It would probably look really good, but this is the look I'm more looking for. What I can do is later on I could still end up putting a light in the back there to achieve that, but my DRLs I want in the front, just like this. So I am definitely happy with this. Is, you know, also multiple ways I could have run this, but that ain't the look. This is the look I'm going for, and it's going well.
I mean, you've got your dad teaching you how to race cars. You get that F1 or 60, and what is it now? Is it a second? Then I'm the driver, back to drive the horse, and you're right, like everyone's got.
Screws for the back mount. Obviously temporary screws when I do the major build, when I rebuild these or refabricate them, then I will go into more detailed versions of these bolt setup for how this is going to be. More likely I'll have it like a static, or I mean, to be honest, I may end up changing the design ever so slightly, but based on the same setup. So just putting everything back together now so you can have a good view. I won't install it on the bike tonight, but it will be built. All it has to do other than that is redo the wiring, and then essentially just bolt on the signal lights. Yeah, you know, which will be simple enough. Okay, this is the left side, this is the right side. I extended the original bolts, or at least the bolts that were originally in it, into these ones. So what I like about the way I set this up is that the lights are adjustable, which was part of the point of this setup also. The lights are adjustable, so I have a slight tilt on both, at least slight as enough, because even with that, god damn it, even with the slight tilts, it does the job what I needed to do. I have another one somewhere. I'm not putting any washer system or anything at the moment. Obviously because this is test fitting. Concaved. That I don't want. Shoots. Didn't want it to concave, but anyway, that's a minor issue. As you can see, this is what it looks like so far. Okay. So this is the final result. And okay, this is essentially the final result of the fixture. I have to stretch out the back part to make that much more straighter. But as I've said before, this is not essentially. This is the setup that I was going for. So yeah. So green, 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 white HDs. I don't know if I get to keep these two smaller ones on, but I'll take them off to show the demonstration. So the board back piece, like I said, had to be extended back out because it's supposed to be almost touching the edges. So I could easily also space these if I need to space them, but I want them to be as close as possible at the same time. But this should give you an idea of the final setup for this front end of the bike. Of course this won't be white, at least not for this purpose. I really hope this looks really good when it's finally done, because if it isn't, we'll be talking about redo of the whole thing. So that's it for this video, guys. This was fun, long, as any build series would be. So I'm gonna go probably sleep, edit this tomorrow, and post this by tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, whichever. Anyway, it's a bit late, so that's why I'm speaking a bit softly, but I will say thank you for watching, guys. You all have a good one, and remember, see you on the road.